Spatial computing is the newest term that you'll hear be tossed around, and until you actually experience the Apple Vision Pro in real life, it might be hard to grasp. Its ability to transport you into another world while staying inside of your comfy, cozy Apple ecosystem is what really sets this apart from other headsets. Of course, the price does as well, but this really is unlike anything I've ever experienced. The most impressive thing about it though is the way that it just feels intuitive as soon as you put it on. The natural way you just look at something and you make a pinching gesture to select it, and it just freaking works. Like, it truly feels like you're witnessing a miracle. Now, the tech in this thing is what is really so impressive. Just the cameras and the sensors alone and the way that they are able to duplicate such a real life experience with the pass-through video. Now, when you first get the headset, the setup process is super simple. You have the battery pack that you plug right into the headset. This should get you about 2 to 2.5 hours of battery life. Now, for obvious reasons, this is not a MagSafe adapter. You line up these two dots and then you turn it, and as soon as they're aligned, you'll notice that this LED lights up, and then as soon as that LED stops blinking, it's time to put it on. Now, as soon as it's on your head, it'll do an auto adjustment to your eyes, and then you'll go through this series of eye tracking tests by looking at these different colored dots in different lighting conditions and then pinching each time you look at them to select. Now, the first time that you start this up, you are greeted by this old school animated hello in your own environment. Now, this is one that they sent me just to show you guys because I couldn't actually capture it as I was doing the setup, but it's so wild. Like, it looks almost like real life when this just pops up in your room. The thing that I have noticed though, after wearing this for the past week, there is this slight eye fatigue that you would naturally feel when you're looking at a display. But it's kind of hard to explain because it's like your brain knows that it's not real, but it looks so real, but it kind of still feels like you're looking at a display, but then your brain is saying, oh no, I don't know, it looks pretty real. We're a little confused. Now, when you walk around or you look at your phone and things up close, that's when you can kind of tell because the phone is brighter than it would look in real life. And really the best view when you're using this headset is when you're kind of looking at a wide view of your space. And it still is just so surprising when I put this on and immediately I'm greeted by the world around me and these little app icons right in front of my face. Now, as for content, there is a new app store that is dedicated just to Vision Pro for all of the new apps. It's pretty awesome because you can still use iPad and iOS apps that have chosen to be available on Vision Pro, which means on day one, you've got over 1 million apps that you can use. Now, obviously, they aren't going to be as enhanced to take advantage of spatial computing, but you can still open them up, use them, and move them around your space. Now, making your persona is definitely something that you want to do first. This will let you get a 3D map of your likeness so you can use it to make FaceTime calls, and the front display can use eyesight with a digital version of your eyes, and it's so wild because it's so easy. Like, you actually just use the Vision Pro to capture your face by holding it out in front of you, and it'll guide you through the steps. You look right, you look left, you look up, down, smile without teeth, smile with teeth, raise your eyebrows, and then close your eyes. And that's it. It will capture the outfit that you're wearing, so make sure it's something that you'd want to be seen in, and also make sure if you're wearing any jewelry, like that your necklace is straight, because it will not, in fact, straighten it for you, as you can see here. So this is my persona, and it did take me a few tries before I got one that I liked. The most difficult part was because my hair kept slipping in front of my face, and then it would get stuck and then blurred to the side. So if you have longer hair, sometimes having a little separation of your hair and the face is the way to go. Now, doing a FaceTime in Vision Pro, I will say, is probably one of the wildest experiences. Now, I had made a few calls to people who didn't have Vision Pro, and for them, they will just see your persona, and then I'll see them as you would normally. Now, I absolutely shocked my sister when I first called her because she had no idea what was going on, and I don't even think that some people would believe it, even if you told them, oh, yeah, this is just my digital persona that I scanned using a headset, and now it's using cameras and various sensors to depict my subtle facial movements. Yeah, you know, super casual. What really sold it for me though is when I did a call with my friends Marquez and Brian, and after a while, I'm gonna say like after about 30 minutes of us chatting, it just started feeling normal. Like, at first we were all shocked because it looked like us, sounded like us, but it wasn't us. When it's like the attention to detail too, like I know we all make fun of Apple, like, oh, when Apple does something, like then it's gonna be a thing. But man, they really made this super impressive. From just a tech standpoint, it's freaking incredible. Yeah.
I want more. I want it to do more things.
Yeah. I mean, this is day 0 negative right now. So we've got many awesome things to come. And with the incredible spatial sound on this, it was really tricking my brain into thinking they were actually right there in the room with me in those little boxes. And the other cool detail is how it really shows you in FaceTime what you're looking at. For example, when I was trying to show Brian a little hand heart, Marquez couldn't see it because I was showing it to Brian, who was over here. Then when I moved my hand to the other side so that Marquez could see it, I mean, it was a kind of a mind-blowing experience just to see this happen in real time and us all kind of trying to figure it out. But again, the thing was, these little personas took seconds to make and they worked so well. It's also still in beta, so obviously this is only gonna get better. I was also really excited about this that I've never actually even seen before. On Apple TV, there's a little section for 3D movies, and I cannot stress enough how much I used to hate 3D movies. Like, I would never even want to see them in the theater, and even just using like the regular 3D glasses was such a subpar experience. But finally, I can say that this has completely changed my thoughts on 3D films. I did watch part of The Force Awakens and the Mario movie, and it was unreal. The coolest part is you can watch any of these in an immersive environment, or you can place yourself in a theater and have your choice of seat. So you can watch something from the floor, the back, or the balcony. You can take your pick. Like, it's whatever you want. Wherever you like to sit in the theater, you can have that theater experience. Now, the only problem is I could not capture any content of me watching that because it was all copywritten and it wouldn't let me record the screen when the movies were playing. So just trust me when I say it was freaking awesome, and get yourself to an Apple store to test this out immediately. Like, there has been so many little things that I've been loving about Vision Pro, and every time that I've used it over the last week, I was more and more impressed with it every single time I put it on. This is really just the beginning, and I cannot wait to see the amazing things that people create for it. The biggest downside though for me was the weight. It is heavy. Like, it's shockingly heavy after it's on your head for a while, especially with the solo loop band, which I have here. It doesn't really allow for any weight distribution on the top of your head, but using the dual loop will give you some added resistance that definitely helps out a lot. Right now, the longest time I've been able to stay in it is for about 45 minutes, and then I need a little break. I would say if you are new to VR and you've never worn any type of headsets like this, take your time. Don't hop into this and think that you're gonna be sitting in here for like several hours at a time on day one, even though that's the only thing that I wanted to do. I think this is something that you do need to ease yourself into because it is an all new muscle that you're forming with your eyes. The way that you have to look so deliberately, you don't normally do that, and it's such a weird feeling. But I think the reason that it's so weird is because you look at something and then you can touch it and bring it towards you. It's just, I don't know, it's so crazy. Like, I've done a lot of VR experiences in the past and I do like VR, but I don't really like the idea of wearing these heavy headsets. So the thing about this is seeing Apple's vision, Apple Vision, okay, that was an accident, but seeing their vision for the future of computing, like, I get it, I freaking get it, and I cannot wait for it. Because one example that I cannot wait to try is editing on an airplane with this. Now, this is a demo that I'm so excited to try out. So you can take your laptop and you can basically make a 4K display in your headset. So you're gonna mirror your computer into your head and be able to edit and work. And you can use your laptop to type, you can use the mouse. So basically, wherever you are, you can use this as a display. I mean, it is definitely an expensive display, but this is a lot smaller to pack than a massive 4K display in your suitcase. I have become so accustomed to editing on my 14-inch MacBook, so now editing inside of Vision Pro off of my 14-inch MacBook, it kind of makes me feel like I'm just at home with my multiple monitors. And even while I'm mirroring my display, I still have all of this spatial computing area that I can place things like my text messages. There's so many opportunities with this, and I cannot wait to experience them all.